Welcome back, Dota 2 fans, for our second game of this best of 2 series, Yugoslavia versus Portugal. Yugoslavia using a Pudge pick in game 1. Made quick work of Portugal in about under 25 minutes, around the 24-minute mark, able to take 2 lanes of racks. Before Portugal taps out, they're going to be playing over on the dire side is Yugoslavia this time. 4 members of the former MY Insanity, 3 members of the current Angry Balkan Beavers, looking really good playing together and able to do a little bit of experimental Dota in game 1. Pretty much won all 3 lanes, even the mid Alchemist matchup versus the Queen of Pain eventually. So all things look very gravy for them. We'll see if Portugal able to take this one back. In fact, Portugal can no longer make second place in the group. Yugoslavia can have their efforts thwarted, though, by not exactly winning both series today. So Portugal still can play the spoiler role. MRP, Morage, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, your English coverage for this one. Shoutouts to Dota 2 Lounge, G2A Esport Gaming, and Hitbox, of course, sponsoring this tournament. Brought to you by ProDota, the National Cup. Opening up with an Ogre Magi is Portugal's squad, and they're going to take the Dazzle for themselves in this game, which they allowed, of course, Yugoslavia to pick up in that game 1. So at this point, Queen of Pain, Earthshaker, stronger opening, certainly, in my opinion, than the Queen of Pain Skywrath that we saw opened last game from Portugal. This time for Yugoslavia, though. And they seem to have done their homework. Seem to be one step ahead in the draft the entire game last game, and were able to fare very well in the lanes, even if they had a bit of a laning configuration disadvantage. Apologies for the announcer, guys. Reborn, not working with my auto exec file right now. At least that command isn't. Most of them are. But I'll look to get that rectified for you in between games. Either way. Undying going to be banned out on top of the Alchemist Lina bans from Portugal. So these bans make a little more sense from Portugal than their bans did last game. PL ban in the second phase was really odd to me. But either way, we'll take out that Undying. And both teams with a full pool of reserve time in this one. Portugal 20 minutes late for that first game. Was down to about 40 seconds. So either way, they'll have time to think about this draft. Perhaps we're a little bit rushed in the last draft. Picked a LC into a Dazzle, into a Pudge, into a Night Stalker. So very interesting pickup for me was that Legion Commander, and didn't really get off her feet to grab a bunch of momentum underneath her. So interestingly enough, the Huskar ban comes up. Huskar Dazzle, of course, a scary combo. And not wanting to deal with it is Yugoslavia. Understandably so. They do have the pure damage from the Queen of Pain, but still a lot of magic damage other than that. So Huskar innately very resistant to a lot of the toolkit that they have at their disposal. Spirit Breaker ban comes out from the Radiant side, and the Witch Doctor ban is the response. So Witch Doctor ban is an interesting one, being that generally speaking this is probably a support duo we're seeing in the Ogre Dazzle. Could be a core Ogre, of course, or a Ogre that is a member of an aggressive dual lane, as we've seen so often since his changes. More buffs to his armor. I think it's 7 base armor now for this Ogre, so crazy tanky early on. Get that Orb of Venom up, get an Ignite off, and you do not want to trade with this hero in the first 5 minutes of the game at least, if ever. So Witch Doctor is an interesting ban for me, coming out from Yugoslavia, but perhaps he throws a wrench into what they want to be drafting here. So we'll see what the theme is. Still very open for both sides. So kudos to them for not tipping their hand just yet. A lot of strong heroes left in the pool still. Gyrocopter stands out a little bit. Has kind of a poor win rate thus far, but still a very strong laner. Doubt we'll see a Lifestealer from Yugoslavia as we did from Portugal in this one. They can certainly go back for the Razor. Works pretty well against the Ogre. Of course, Poison Touch, Ignite, and Bloodlust will allow them to be able to outrun the radius of that static link more often than not. So Razor not quite as good as he was in game 1, but they do go back for Lacoste's Pudge, presumably Lacoste's Pudge. who played this in a 4 role last game to great effect, indeed. And up against the Ogre, though, there is going to be a little bit of trading going on, more so than there was against this LC Legion, if they put the Ogre in the offlane. We'll see what the response is. Coming out from the Radiant side.
Remaining.
A lot available to them. Still feel like SF is a possibility for this mid lane.
Remaining.
They banned the Alchemist out themselves. SF Dazzle pretty good. Couple of ways to cancel the Requiem thus far, but a little bit tough for them in terms of reliable disable. Gonna have to hold on to that Fissure more often than not. Bloodlust, of course, synergizes very well with the Shadow Fiend as well, dishing out really a litany of physical damage that SF does. So wouldn't be too surprised to see them pick that up mid lane, presumably for Hendrix, who is the captain and did play a pretty good Queen of Pain last game, but altogether Portugal having a very rough go at it. We'll see where they go with this one. As mentioned earlier, still pretty wide open. No one DCing from the lobby, so they are taking their time, putting their thinking caps on. Doom not available. It will be the SF, and makes complete sense to me. Him slipping this far through, being as strong as he is, just throughout the game, scaling very well. Stat from Nahaz posted recently. Let me pull this one up for you guys. Actually was super surprising to me. Doom, of course, already banned out, but 6.85 records in 40+ minute games. SF is 40 and 25. 40 wins, 25 losses. Not really what you expect from a hero who's kind of considered to be a real force in the mid to late mid game. And starts to fall off towards that super late game. So 40+ minute games, I mean, you're getting to that phase where it's starting to be considered super late. And for SF to have that kind of win rate that late is super impressive to me, and just telling and indicative of really how strong the hero is throughout the game and how well he scales. Doesn't have to dominate his lane, mid lane. Can retreat back, especially on the Radiant side, as Portugal is, to find some of those stacks. So, no surprises there on the SF pickup. Definitely some surprises in terms of the Jakiro pickup
Dire team ban.
from the Dire side. So a little bit of a push lineup going to be assembled here with the Jakiro. Helps out with the Roshan, which they're not very good at without him. But the Broodmother pick as a response from Portugal, there are no answers yet. Do we see a safe lane Legion Commander? Do we see an Axe to combo up with the Pudge, much like we saw the Night Stalker? I mean, the problem with that is, what do you do? Give Jakiro a core roll? So in general, you would expect this Earthshaker Jakiro to be the support duo. I mean, level 7 Liquid Fire, level 4 Liquid Fire at level 7 is nothing to scoff at. There will be the Axe ban. Anti-Mage is going to be the ban coming out from Yugoslavia, and picking up that Pudge as early as they did, it feels like they're back into a bit of a corner right now. I mean, Spiderlings are great against Pudge. Broodmother good against Pudge in general. So it doesn't seem like it's as easy of a game for Yugoslavia here, and I mean, this is a game they wanted to win. They do want to make it through that group stage in first place. They can tie up this series, win versus Germany, and still make it through in second place, but first place would be real nice for them. They do pick up the Legion Commander, as I mentioned. Makes sense. I mean, Macro Power synergizes pretty well with the Legion. The entire toolkit of the Pudge and the Queen of Pain can work as well with the Legion Commander. And she generally is considered a counter to the Broodmother. Of course, with having that overwhelming odds there. So, makes sense. Legion Commander makes a lot more sense, let's say, in this one than it did in the last game. But it's still up against the Dazzle. Still up against the Dazzle. Safe lane Bristleback going to come out as well for Portugal. I feel like they're in a lot better position with this draft than they were in game 1. So we'll hop into this one quickly, guys. Oh, I want to show you that. And you got to switch around the flags real quick. Portugal. Portugal versus Portugal. Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia, of course, not a country, truthfully, but is a region and is a well-represented one in the Dota scene. So definitely good to see them here, and they've played some good Dota thus far. Like I said, they're in the standing. Throw you on the weight screen real quick. Yugoslavia 0-1 and 0. So today, if they win this Portugal series, we'll have 4 points already in second place, and then they face Germany hereafter today. So even tying up Germany, if they win this series, will net them second place. If they win this series and beat Germany, they'll have first place over the entire tournament favorites in the Ukraine. Tournament favorites in the Ukraine have a stacked lineup. ProDota.eu, excuse me, for everything. This tournament, Ukraine, Resolution, Aloha Dance, Always Want to Fly, Havost, and Funnick. So if that's not stacked for a tournament where basically a bunch of players from one country are thrown together, I don't know what is. Either way, we're going to hop in this one. Marge, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. Over here on Hitbox, casting the National Cup by ProDota. Brought to you by G2A.com, esportgaming.com, Dota2Lounge.com, and Hitbox.tv. Into this one, Portugal, trying to bring it back for a Game 2 victory to tie up the series. Run, Noobs Run, going to be playing that core Bristleback, first position Bristleback. Patrao, going to be on the Shadow Fiend. Hendrix, going to be on the Broodmother. K, going to be on the Dazzle. And Destro, going to be on the Ogre. So if this Ogre is a support, which he seems to be from his item build, there's a little bit of a role swap here, as Patrao, playing the Skywrath Mage on game 1, is going to jump into that core role. Sorry, yeah, playing the Skywrath Mage, now playing the Shadow Fiend. Destro playing that LC is now going to jump into the support role. Hendrix from the mid lane going to take up that Brood, and Run Noobs Run from the safe lane going to take up the Bristleback. So nice to see flexibility in squads, and hopefully it'll work out for Portugal, who had a pretty lackluster showing in game 1. See if they're able to bring it back here. Over on the dire side, we've got Team Yugoslavia. Cole going to pick up that Queen of Pain. Lacoste once again going to go for his Pudge. Mitch going to be picking up the Earthshaker. That leaves Grizine on the Legion Commander, and Booktop playing on the Jakiro. So once again, there is a little bit of a role swap on this side. Grizine playing in the mid lane last matchup. Probably going to pick up what I think is a safe lane LC here, with Cole picking up that mid lane Queen of Pain, formerly of that Razor, in the safe lane. Mitch going to be playing a little bit of a more hard support role in this one after picking up that greedy Night Stalker in game 1. 5-man movement from the Radiant side towards this bottom rune for Patrao. He has picked up the Wraith Band early on, so not going to be rushing a bottle, but definitely does want to secure this rune. Broodmother already going to drop the web down, pinged out by the dire side. They, of course, do have the Fisher to try and secure this rune. Grizine playing safe top lane. Doesn't want to poke his head out near that rune, feed over a First Blood. But will be the standard lanes coming up from the Radiant side. Hendrix going to walk his 8 legs over to that off lane with the Broodmother. And now, Hookshot not skilled, neither is Rot, of course, from Lacoste. And Cole actually going to be able to secure that relatively easily, bring himself over a salve in the mid lane for that Queen of Pain. So early level 2 going to help up against the SF, who may have to skill raises here early on. And Grizine going to pick up the bounty, so GG, guys. Dire side, 2 bounty runes, 60% win rate. LC once again into a Dazzle. We'll see how she fares this time. Of course, has a pretty favorable matchup against the Brood, or more favorable than most heroes against this Broodmother, who generally is able to dominate the 1v1 matchup. So K-Dota going to be present in the mid lane early on, do a little trading with Cole, and going to help Patrao get his souls up. Skills the Necromastery early, knowing that the Dazzle will be nearby, and we'll pick up a couple of souls. This will really help him out in lane. But generally speaking, Cole should be able to dominate this matchup prior to the him accruing a bunch of souls here. Grizine has no sentries in lane just yet. And I believe the Pudge does not have one, so Hendrix will be fine in this lane. It'll be pretty safe. Not sure if he dewarded. Has one sentry. Believe the Ogre has the other, so yeah. No need for him to drop that just yet. Patrao 4-0 in the mid lane to the 3-3 of Cole. So Petrov going to be doing pretty well on this SF by virtue of those early rotations. Fisher goes out. Bot lane from Mitch, and gonna soak up a little bit of XP is the Earthshaker. Catches an Ignite, gonna cancel his Clarity. Fire Blast is there too, but no Orb of Venom on this Ogre, so he's not gonna be able to chase him down for too long. Booktop gonna come in. Interesting offlane dual lane here. Jakiro, Earthshaker. So will be the core Jakiro. Could even be the core Earthshaker, but probably the core Jakiro here. Gonna have farm priority. Tick damage is certainly nice versus the Bristleback. And Booktop going to rotate over for this bottom rune. It's going to be a race here, folks. No. Destro going to back off. Knowing that Jakiro has the angle. Ace rune picked up by the Pudge. Has that level 2 with the hook shot. Petrov going to catch it? No. Just short. Level 1 hook. Underwhelming range. Unfortunate. Top lane. Grizine a little bit deep. Both these heroes are going to be just fine. Legion Commander farming very well right now. 4-1 on Hendrix. Played pretty well on the Queen of Pain. This is very, very surprising to see. I mean, Brood doesn't do terribly in this matchup. Definitely a better matchup for the Legion than most heroes 1v1 versus the Brood, but shouldn't do terrible in this matchup if she's diligent about keeping her spiderlings. Kind of out of vision and a little bit spread apart. You want kind of two groups of spiderlings up against the LC. Mid lane. Cole gonna catch a raise and a right click. Gets a little bit low. Maybe baiting here for the Pudge, as the Pudge rotates in. Lacoste actually just gonna casually walk into lane.
You're no right.
And back off the SF for now. Overwhelming odds top lane gonna catch a bunch of CS towards this LC. So LC's CS a little bit inflated right now, sitting at 21, but still doing very well. If you look at the net worth, still at the top at this point. So 1v1 matchup is going swimmingly for this Legion. Mid lane, one last right click. We'll be there to bring down the Queen of Pain, and maybe the Pudge goes for the hook onto Patral rather than trying to save pretty much what was already a dead to rights Queen of Pain. So that's a full bottle, 350 gold as well onto the SF, and his boots coming out. Patral with an excellent start in this mid lane for Portugal. Seems to be the one lane they are winning. Not that bottom lane isn't trading fairly. And speaking of which, Booktop, dead Jakiro. And a bounty rune for his troubles. For the Bristleback. So Mitch finds some space in the lane. He's level 4 on this Earthshaker. So it does seem like he's, at least for now, taking farm priority. Jakiro, level 3. Mitch in a bit of a trouble now, but no mana on the Ogre. And if he clicks on him, he'll realize that, and he does. Mitch, really a knowledgeable player, standing right in the front lines. Looking to bring down that siege creep. Jakiro returning to the lane now as well. And Fisher comes out. Enchant Totem is there. Liquid Fire. They hit him in the back, unfortunately, but he's going to tick pretty low. His run, Noob's run. He's going to come back as Destro's taking a lot of punishment. And they don't want to take tower hits here. Mitch has enough with the mangle for the Fisher. One more right click. Dead Ogre Magi. Very nicely played there. Unfortunately, the Dire Creeps find the kill. So, no last hit there for either of them. Deep lane ward placed by the Dire side as well. So, they have vision and information as to when they will TP back for the Bristle. And that Ogre Magi, top lane with the dust. Level 2 hook available as well. Duel is here. Hendrix shows himself. They can dust him up. Dust him up. Overwhelming odds. Duel is there. Hook shot as well to do a little bit of damage. And it is there. Very nicely played by Lacoste. He waits for the hook shot to be the killing blow to ensure that duel and not to drag it out. And the first bit of duel damage going the way of Grazine. Broodmother not doing nearly as well as she wants to. Mid lane, Fisher catches out Patral, blocks him in. And the Enchant Totem is there. One more right click. Mitch going to take a bit of tower damage, but Dazzle not going to be there in time to save him. Nice couple of minutes here for Yugoslavia.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Overall looking real good. And actually missed a kill here. Earthshaker going to be found out by the rotating in Ogre Magi. So was low was low in that mid lane. Dies right about there. Haste rune from Destro. They're going to get aggressive onto Booktop. He should be dead here. Ignite going to be thrown out instead of the Fire Blast. Interesting. And now Booktop going to be able to run under tower. Does barely get enough mana for that, but Destro going to take a lot of tower shots for this, and probably going to be brought down. Yep, Fisher seals the job for the Earthshaker. Interesting he uses the Ignite there over... I mean, it probably does more damage as a level 2, level 3. It does more damage than the Fire Blast, but I feel like he right-clicks him down without him even being in tower range if he gets the Fire Blast off there, so... Perhaps a misstep from the Ogre Magi. Destro, though, trading himself 1-for-1 for Jakiro isn't the biggest deal. Does pick up a full Magic Stick and his TP back out to lane. Grazine, gonna have his duel soon. And waiting with the dust once again is the Pudge. Overwhelming odds is there. Not able to get inbounds, and Hendrix, now aware of the presence of the Pudge, is going to play a little bit safer. Mitch in a very precarious position right now. Scouts out the stack. Oh, he's actually going to Echo Slam this stack, so 2-minute cooldown roughly, 150-second cooldown for that stack, and honestly well worth it, considering that Petrao is kind of the only silver lining for this lineup right now. He leaves 4 skeletons. Oh, that is going to be a sad, sad day for Petrao. Need face cam for it. He'll ping it out and be pretty sad about it. So Destro going to rotate over, try to find someone who was clearing up that stack, but Mitch will be off to the races and fine. Top lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Tower down, and they're going to find that last hit onto Lacoste. Does he pop the dust here? Already used, actually. So Hendrix feeling pretty safe. No second duel win on the Legion. Don't feel like I missed anything there. Cole stalking around the secret shop. Dota going to walk out to safety. Hendrix nearby. No sentries, no dust. He's going to steal that last hit. Cheeky play there. Spiderling's going to survive as well. See, now finally separating up those Spiderlings. Making sense. You really need to group them up for overwhelming odds to kill them off. Especially at the early levels. It's now level 4, so. Grazine going to be manned up on by Hendrix. And with the insatiable hunger, doesn't want to turn and duel. However, does not have the incapacitating bite, so probably could have manned up and won that. Dual breath going to catch Destro. Pretty tanky is the Ogre. 9 armor right now and 967 HP. Brings himself a smoke as well. Booktop needs to be a little bit careful. Kind of baiting himself out knowing Lacoste was coming through with that level 3 hook. They do have this ward here still. So the Bristleback be in a bit of trouble, and smartly so actually rotates out without any vision. So perhaps they saw the Pudge walk by this Radiant ward. Both the Ogre and Bristleback playing very safe here. Bristleback not finding as much as he wants to in this bottom lane. 23 CS. With that stack cleanup, Mitch has 38. And the Jakiro playing that support role only has 4, but I mean, this Bristleback has been zoned out by an Earthshaker Jakiro lane. Ignite gonna come out. Actually lands on both heroes, fortunately, for Destro. Yet, bot lane still controlled here by the Dire, and Cole gonna rotate through as well. Petrao gonna go top lane for that 10-minute rune, and Cole gonna be able to secure himself the bottom rune, which is a haste. Vision expires here though for the Dire side, so gonna be a little bit more difficult. Cole can rotate through still. Gonna put some pressure into this mid lane tier 1. Petrao well aware that they are ever-present bot lane, and they're gonna scout out looking for someone, but won't find them. Cole gonna be able to pick up the last hit on that tower. Does have that haste rune and a full bottle available. They'll glyph up mid as well. Nothing doing top lane. Overall, the net worth looking good for the Dire side. 2-man smoke coming out from the Radiant. Grazine not going to queue up the duel here, but could be in a bit of trouble himself. Hendrix just going to throw out 2 Spiderlings, and this is exactly kind of what you need to do. Maybe bait out that overwhelming odds. Wrap around from Dota. There's the overwhelming odds. Bait it out. The Spiderling's going to come. Spawn Spiderling's going to come through. He gets to press the attack off, but a big shadow wave is there, and Grazine going to try and TP up. Won't make it. Hendrix finding the return kill. The response is here from the Earthshaker. Has the Echo Slam available. Jump forward. Do they have detection? They do not. And oh, they have a sentry. But yeah, interesting for them to come without dust for that Broodmother. Cole rotating through with the haste. 4 heroes top for this dire side. Patral gonna join them up. Perhaps queue up a tower push here. We're unsuccessful in doing so mid. And Grzine, or Hendrix I should say, gonna scout out Cole. They won't be able to close the gap. Mitch gonna find our last hit under tower. It's pretty close to that blink, needs to be careful. 1700 gold. So about 400 away, 500 away, excuse me, from that blink. Price change fairly recently. Chihiro gonna farm up a double stack in their jungle, find himself some space. He's got his level 6, so we'll have that liquid fire at level 4 pretty soon. Not opting to scale up the macro power. It's a little odd to me, considering that you do have a Legion commander. In general, I understand. Mitch gonna be pincered in, hooked up, dismembered. Oh, actually he gets off the fire boss, but the duel is there, and it's an easy second duel win for the Legion commander. Now they can queue up a push perhaps in this lane. Kind of deny up Hendrix from taking this side of the map. Book top very low bottom lane. And needs to be careful. He may just give a free kill over to this SF here. Sitting high ground. Yep, free kill. Interesting. Heard a Sonic Wave come out somewhere. And that's on K in the mid lane. Scream of Pain will secure his death.
Was it really that bad?
So 1 for 1 across the map. Dazzle goes to the mid laner for the Dire. And Jakiro goes to the mid laner for Patral. Dazzle though, oh, jump forward from Patral, who's got a blink dagger. Interesting, jump forward. But Dazzle level 6, Jakiro level 7, so a little bit more of a worthy, valuable kill for Patral. They did not have the middle tower, does Cole. Mid lane, blink dagger up on the LC. Any other items I haven't spoke of yet. Cole building into that Aghanims, but nothing major. Simultaneous blink daggers pretty much for the mid laners. Run noobs run. Really underfarmed on this bristleback. 3,700 net worth. 100 gold away. TPM. 100 gold away. 50 gold away now. Is that Earthshaker blink, and Mitch needs to wall them off here. She just picks up the blink from the side shot. Blinks right away before the ignite ticks. So maybe revealed that he has a blink dagger here, but regardless, I mean, an item he's always going to want, and you're always going to expect from a core Earthshaker around this 15-minute mark. So it is actually a great timing after farming up that stack. It's going to be an early BKB for Patral. Blink BKB. Of course, synergizes very well. Blink BKB Requiem. Need a little bit of catch though, and actually, bot lane. Wow. Apologies for that one, guys. Missed quite a bit there. T-tours. Echo Slam utilized. Find a couple of kills there. Looks like the early hook shot into the dismember. Fisher was there. Probably to set up. And quite a bit of damage done by both heroes there. Blink, Echo Slam. They bring down the Bristle and the Ogre. And this noob caster missed it, but deep lane war being placed by the Jakiro as well. This is going to help them out quite a bit. Top lane, duel out onto Hendrix. Patral going to come through with some raises, and the duel will not finish. They will get the Legion Commander with the spawn Spiderlings. Requiem is there onto Cole. He uses the aggressive blink. Won't have it for another 3 seconds. Tries to man up against Patral. Shadow Strike will take him out. But Patral finds the double kill. Actually, will it? One more tick. After that will do the job, it seems. He actually gets denied from the Spiderlings. Well played from Hendrix. And Mitch not there in time to bring him down. So overall, very big win in that top lane. As you can see, a lot more experience going their way. The cost finds the Dazzle without a hook. Still has a hook shot available. Could hook in his teammate if need be. Gonna try and find the Dazzle. Won't be able to do so. Tries to TP out. It's gonna be a little bit of an optimistic TP. And Destro with a right click will bring him down. Vanguard gonna be completed up now by Run Noobs Run. And a nice little couple of minutes here for the Radiant side. Patral specifically doing well. Building towards that BKB. But is on the sidelines for now. Is there a smoke here? Not yet. Aghanim Scepter still pretty far behind for a mid lane Queen of Pain for Cole. 2 deaths hurting him quite a bit. Grzine with the Blink Dagger. Doesn't have any support just yet mid lane. Sonic Wave on cooldown for 63 seconds still. Putka just respawning now. Does he need to be a bit careful? Mitch has a blink dagger, maybe looking to bait in an echo slam, but still down for 18 seconds. Legion Commander going to TP top. Has his Jakiro there. Macropyre skilled? It is not yet. Level 4 Liquid Fire though. Definitely going to secure that the Legion doesn't lose the duel with the reduced attack speed. Jakiro dropping the sentry down. Going to take a lot of damage from these Spiderlings. He may just die off here. Press the attack going to have to keep him up. And the overwhelming odds going to have to kill off those Spiderlings. Unfortunately for Booktop, he doesn't have a Tango, else that would have helped him quite a bit in lane. But yeah, Broodmother's starting to get a little bit scary here. Bot lane. Pudge going to find Dota with a hook. And they're going to bring down that Dazzle. Grave on the sidelines as well. Sonic Wave cooling down in 10 seconds. They have the Blink Echo. Dire Vision, though, does not see all three of those heroes there. Mitch does see Run Noobs Run, however. And he's going to walk towards that bot lane, but they're going to go for mid, knowing that the Shadow Fiend is probably off farming. And this ward is now going to catch him. Hook shot. Wow. Barely blinking away is the SF. Great game sense from him. That'll secure probably the tier 1 mid, though. Him having backed off. They're actually still baiting, waiting out. A lot of deep aggressive vision, as you would expect with a Blink Earthshaker and a Pudge, who should have a Force Staff fairly soon. Jakiro gonna bait himself out. TPs are inbound. Almost like I was pinging to my teammate Pudge. He finds Dota, dismembers him out. Fisher is there. Dazzle, not able to get off the grave. Destro walking in. They do find the Jakiro, who is underneath the tower, though, and a TP out. Gonna bail is the Pudge. Mitch, with the Enchant Totem, trying to keep them at bay. Has 13 stick charges, just gonna accept his fate here. Ogre Magi brings him down. So they get a tower. They lose 2 supports and a Dazzle. They get a Dazzle as well. More or less a wash in that mid lane. In terms of the gold, if you include the tower there, which is 1,000 gold. So a wash in terms of the gold. But 1,300 experience advantage, and a lot of got that going to the SF there. So Radiant looking a lot more like formidable foes in this game too than they are in game 1. Legion has not been able to snowball despite having a very good laning stage. 0, 2, and 3. Has 2 duo wins, so out of those 3 assists, 2 of them were successful duels. But 2 deaths to her name, no last hits there. Blade Mail going to come out soon. Only 250 gold away from that. Doesn't have the broadsword or the Robe of the Magi yet. So 250 gold away from that, but Hendrix picking up a fairly early Desolator on the Brood. Has recovered nicely after a rough laning stage. 2, 2, and 2 on the Brood. Dire Vision is going to see Hendrix right now. Blink Duel before the Deso is delivered may be attractive to this LC, but he's just going to take a bunch of LH from those Spiderlings. 2,000 gold there. Full Blade Mail picked up from the side shop. Now can definitely win a duel. Solo. Fisher is there. Hook shot. Destro's going to be found out. Dismembered up. And brought down. Jakiro going to look forward for the Ice Path with the vision they have, but not going to be able to find it. Clean pick on the Ogre. No punishment for that one. Patrao still farming up a storm. Finds that full BKB. 131 last hits to this SF, which would be the top of the board if it weren't for Spiderlings. So LC doesn't have quite as much as it seems. And with the incapacitating bite, will not be able to bring down Hendrix during the duel. But an overwhelming odds and one last right click does get her. And interesting to see Hendrix stick around right after that duel expired. Probably could have ran. Either way, Grazine finds his first kill of the game. And overall, slight lead generated by the Dire side. Cole does have that full Aghanims now, 20 minutes in, so 1,000 gold on top of it as well. Burst potential certainly real. Cole sitting on level 13, just below the LC and the SF. Fisher, Soul Ring is there, jump forward, Echo Slam, and the Sonic Wave. Grave will be there in time. Hook's actually going to hit a creep. And unfortunately, the Echo Slam was in the Bristle's back. They'll get him down, but they'll pay with Mitch's life. And the rotations in from Patrao are there as well. He's going to try and TP out on the Pudge, but will be fire blasted up. And Patrao is going to get a dominating streak off of it. SF rotating in for the last hit there. So they end up losing a Pudge and an Earthshaker for a Bristleback. Not a terrible trade for the Dire side, but still double the experience going the way of the Radiant, and actually a big gold swing, much bigger gold swing than I had anticipated. The Bristle not losing much, just buying out that Crimson Guard. and is still level 10, which is nice. They've kept this Bristleback down pretty heavily. Jakiro, same level as him. Earthshaker above him, coming out of that safe lane. So it will be able to translate this into Roche, but a blink forward from Patral. Couple of raises. Booktop gonna pay with his life for that ice path. Quick reactions from Patral there. Grazine jumping into the pit, has the blade mail queued up, but there's a few too many heroes for you here, buddy, and you're gonna be requiemed up and brought down. Sonic Wave through 2. Patral actually able to dodge a Cole on the high ground. Fisher gonna block them out from the Roche. Buyback comes out from the Legion Commander. Hendrix gonna scout out the high ground. Scream of Pain is gonna hit him up. Hookshot gonna be blindly thrown in into the pit and won't find anyone. Jump forward from Patral. He's gonna beat PKB up. Requiem look to man up, but they get the Force Staff down and the blink out. Earthshaker will still pay. Hookshot gonna finish off the Ogre though. Patral now trapped on the high ground. Jump forward. Crimson Guard has been popped, but Grizzine will be able to bring him down. Unfortunately, did not duel the SF there, interestingly enough. Blink still cooling down for 3 seconds. Dismember is there. Hook shot. Hendrix getting low, but the Pudge will fall first, and the Broodmother still surviving there. Scream of Pain not finishing the job. Positive earn tick is there. It will bring him down, though. Pudge gonna be able to do so. Jump forward with the duel. On to the Bristle, and they'll bring him down. Macropyre is there. Patral standing in it. He'll get hooked up. Lacoste there again. Grave gonna keep him up. One last right click brings down the Queen of Pain. Ice Path will keep Patral there though. He'll be brought down. That's a dieback for the SF. And overall, tons of buybacks used in this engagement. LC buys back. SF buys back. Broodmother buys back. Pudge buys back. Bristleback buys back. The Brood gonna come in, finish off the Jakiro, gets dismembered up. Fisher is there. Echo Slime as well. Hendrix really low. They get the Aegis. Hendrix able to back out though, and Grazine had a blink for a second there. Wasn't able to use it. Gets it canceled up. And this is probably the Aegis. Gets off the press the attack. Tries to put in as much damage as he can. Fisher is there. Bringing the Ogre real low. Crimson Guard. Gonna keep him up for now. Grazine still battling. And Mitch on the high ground. Has the Spiderlings chasing him. Canceling his blink. Hendrix gonna look to find him. Needs to be careful though. If he gets in close range, the Fisher is there. Mitch has 17 stick charges. Will be just fine. Legion actually able to make it out on top of that Aegis. So overall, who the hell wins that? Who knows? It hurts the SF quite a bit. Overall, they trade 3 buybacks on the Radiant side for 2 buybacks on the Dire. So seems like a Dire win to me. And Cole, just dying the one time seems like kind of the beneficiary in terms of the cores. Well, actually, Legion able to find a solo kill onto Hendrix as he shows himself bot lane with that blade mail. 2100 gold now. Could build into an AC pretty quickly to mitigate kind of that armor war of attrition with the Desolator picked up by Hendrix. And the Broodmother looking pretty poor now. Sitting on the same net worth and experience roughly. Well, net worth at least. Experience 3 levels ahead of this Earthshaker. But Earthshaker wasn't a dual lane and has his Blink Force. So all he needs on Mitch seems a little bit more useful than the Brood at this point, who hasn't really gotten much split pushing done. I mean, 1 tier 1 tower missing from the map on the Dire side. Full health pretty much for both towers in the side lanes. So things looking real good for Yugoslavia in terms of that. Booktop has been able to find close to a Yule Scepter and will complete that up now, which is a real nice setup ability for them. Of course, you can BKB out of it as the SF, but everyone else very susceptible to that. No BKBs coming out anytime soon for any of these heroes. Bristleback, very poor. Probably the most concerning for the Radiant side at this point is that Bristleback and his lack of farm. Patral hits decently hard because of Necromastery and Presence of the Dark Lord level 4, but only having a Blink BKB is not where you want to be right now considering the start he had. Cole is right on his tail in terms of net worth. 1600 gold on top of that plate mail will probably be a Shiva's. Could be an AC. Generally, you would expect the Legion Commander to build that over the Queen of Pain. Hendrix stalking here bot lane. They're going to need catch for Patral to jump in. And he's vulnerable to the hook right now. The cost stop cast it. Weave going to be casted onto 2. That's Cole and Patral. Multicast on the Ignite. Hookshot's going to find Patral. He's going to Requiem it up. But he gets dismembered and they'll all be able to back out. It's a pretty underwhelming Requiem when all is said and done. It will catch Booktop. He's going to blink forward, find him with the second raise. And they're going to try and find more here. Grazine going to catch a multicast. Sonic Wave through 3. And the jump forward with the Scream and the Echo Slam. They're going to bring down 1. That's the Broodmother. Patral soon to fall thereafter. And everyone not too healthy. but everyone's still alive other than Shakiro, who died early. Jump forward duel is going to find the bristleback. Grave will keep him up, but this is only going to delay the inevitable. Grazine should be able to bring him down. Hook shot from the south finds the dazzle as well. Lacoste beasting. Triple kill for Cole, who on the north side finds the Ogre Magi as the Pudge brings down the dazzle and the Legion brings down that bristleback. 6,500, 5,500 net experience going their way. 4K net gold going the way of the Dire, and this game has just been blown wide open. Something I was just talking about was that kind of lack of farm, essentially, on the SF, and all they did was kite his BKB, and then what firepower did he really have? Answer, not much. Jump it up to the high ground. Why not? 5 heroes dead. We should take this tier 3 and back up. Lacking a few ultimates here. But they are going to chip away at the range racks, knowing that this will be permanent damage. And with its armor being low, it'll be pretty much dead. Hookshot is going to fly and miss. And now the response coming out from the Radiant. They need to back off. Feel like they could have backed off a bit earlier. Range rack's not the biggest deal. And Fire Blast not going to be in range, so Lacoste actually able to extricate himself from any risk. Blink out from the Earthshaker as well as from Grazine. Everyone going to be able to make it out scot-free for that one. Yule Scepter soon to come out for Booktop as he shoves in the bot wave. Knowing that the TPs were abound top lane, trying to get some chip damage done, but the Ogre will be able to return himself to bottom. He didn't have to TP there top. 21-26 is your score, 28 minutes in. Game is a lot less even than that score indicates though. With that last engagement, and over the last 7 minutes, severe drop in the net worth chart to almost 15k in a way of the Dire lead. About the same in the way of experience as well. Roshan, Aegis just expired. Minimum spawn in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Yule Scepter recipe finally coming out for Booktop. Lacoste going to pick up a Blade Mail on the Pudge, and there's going to be a gem on the Jakiro as well. So, nice pickup there. Legion Commander will probably build that AC. Chainmail already up. Actually has a halberd right now. Very nice item. Up against, at the least, the SF when he's down on his BKB, or the Brood before then. Just a good item for dueling in general, with the evasion and the extra strength. 52 duel damage right now is really not the most. I feel like that's 4 duels, 3 level 1s. Actually, so 1 level 3, 1 level 2, and a couple of level 1 wins. So 4 duel wins there. Grazine, not the most, but has kind of done his job. 4, 3, and 10 on the LC. The disable of the duel has seemed to be a little bit more valuable than the actual snowballing effect in the duel wins. Booktop going to place a ward on the high ground. Shivas comes out on top of the Scream of Pain from Cole, just trying to back off the Bristleback, knowing he can clean this wave up pretty quick. Hookshot going to catch a creep, unfortunately, for Lacoste, and a blink out from Mitch. Going to keep him safe for now. Top lane, Broodmother doing a little bit of split pushing, but not near the tower just yet. So no reaction queued up from the Dire side. Gonna poke away at high ground here. Liquid Fire doing work. Ice Path gonna catch out the Bristle. He's gonna get hooked up and dismembered. Unfortunately, dismembered in the back, but the Sonic Wave is not. Overwhelming odds onto 3. Echo Slam is there to keep them at bay. Dual win even gonna be found by this Legion Commander, and Patral was lucky to make it out there after that big overwhelming odds. He's gonna BKB himself up. Jump forward for the Requiem. It's gonna catch 2. Yeah, 3 actually, but all on the very outer edge. And Ice Path gonna keep pack the bot back. Bristle back. Scream of Pain going to catch 2. Hook shot is there. Dismember not available for another 2 seconds. But Grazine jumping forward with the Blade Mail. Grave going to keep up that Bristle for now. Press the attack, keeping Grazine fairly healthy here. They know the BKB is down on Patral, and I wouldn't be surprised for them to go back in. Jump forward. Fisher not there from Mitch. He'll catch a spawn. Spiderlings hook shot. Not going to catch the Broodmother. Weave is going to be popped offensively onto 5. They get the tier 3. Not sure if they want to keep fighting with this Weave. Blade Mail going to be popped up from Grazini. Press the attack. Going to right click away into this tower. And now going to cop a lot of damage with the Weave ticking away. Sonic Wave through 3. Going to try and keep them back. Hook shot finds the Ogre Magi. Dismember is there. Grave Gonna keep him up. Fisher onto 3. Gonna try and sound the retreat for the dire side. Macropyre ticking away at Petrao. Needs to be careful. Does find a kill there onto the Pudge. But a duel once again. This is a dieback for Run Noobs Run. 60 seconds on the sideline for the Bristle. Jump forward. Enchant Totem. Overwhelming odds. And one last right click. Finish off the Broodmother. Scream of Pain to the south. Gonna get that Ogre as well. 3 down. And it's gonna be this full lane of bot racks. TP forward from Petrao. He jumps forward with the BKB. Ray's gonna finish off the Jakiro. That's a gem on the deck. Petrao finding a little bit here. We'll get at least the gem. Mitch gonna be dead to rights as well on this Earthshaker. Actually force-staffs himself out. Link forward. Yeah, he's gonna make it away. Nicely played by Mitch. And after all is said and done, they only got the 2 kills on the way out. Pudge and the Jakiro. And they lose pretty much their entire lane of racks. I mean, 146 HP, non-regeneration. Just needs that Hyperstone, does the Legion, for the full AC now, and is fairly close. We'll be able to pick it up pretty much with this wave mid lane. Things looking grim now for the Radiant side. In excess of 15k in the way of net worth, almost 15k in the way of experience in terms of the lead generated by Yugoslavia. Octarine Core more than likely to come out fairly soon for Cole. We'll have a quicker Shiva's cooldown. About 22.5 seconds on net. As well as that 30-second ult on top of the Aghanims hook shot. Not going to find anyone there. Might have been an illusion. Yeah, I feel like it was a Brood illusion. Hendrick's not really able to hit his stride as a Brood in this one. 2 tier 1 towers are the only things removed from the map in terms of structural damage. For the dire side, meanwhile, they're lacking a melee Rax bottom and every tier, outer tier tower, excuse me, but that tier 2 mid. They're going to jump into the Roche pit, take it completely uncontested, give that over to the Queen of Pain. Probably would have liked to see that on the LC, honestly, since she has the blink initiation. And is a little bit more tanky, but Halberd, Blade Mail, AC up. They are at full strength. Is this dire lineup? Have the Yules even on the Jakiro. Gonna build into perhaps a late mech. Maybe a Crimson Guard. Got the headdress though, so perhaps a late mech here. Shows his face mid lane. Jump forward hook, not gonna find anyone. Legion jumps forward, is gonna find the duel onto the Ogre. They burst him down before the Dazzle's even close to getting in range. Get the Dismember off onto the Bristle. Jump forward, Requiem onto 3. Yule Scepter's gonna be a little bit late from the Jakiro, and he will be able to mech up as that's just delivered for his team. That keeps him alive. Force forward, Echo Slam onto 2. Bristleback getting really low. They hook down Petrao, and he's actually gonna turn and find a kill on the Jakiro after being hooked up, and we'll be able to TP away. Nicely played by this SF altogether. They will bring down the Dazzle though. That's 2 on the sidelines for the 1 Jakiro. Petrao gonna be able to heal up and jump back in. Doesn't have that BKB though. It's probably 5 seconds at this point. It is. So in 20 seconds we'll have that 5-second spell immunity, but not sure if it's enough right now. Who's gonna be ticking away? Jump forward, Shiva's Guard, Screaming Pain onto Run Noobs Run. Hook shot just misses from Lacoste. And they will be able to bring down this Bristle real easy. Even the Sonic Wave coming through for good measure. Jump forward duel there from the Legion Commander. Tier 3 gonna go down. 2 heroes on the sidelines, especially without the Dazzle. They cannot fight here. And Yugoslavia, wisely so, not willing to throw their advantage. Just gonna force forward for that Ogre, bring him down quickly. That's the second time in about 2 minutes. 53 seconds on the sideline. No Requiem available for this SF just yet now, and they'll just use the physical damage to bring him down. One last right click, wicked 6 streak. For Grazine, 8-3 and 15. GG, well played. Called by Petrao once again. In this game too, who played well on his SF, but didn't have enough farm when it came to that top engagement. And nicely kited by Yugoslavia. That was certainly the turning point in the game, was that fight around the tier 2 tower in the Radiant offlane. So well played to Yugoslavia. They take their first 2-0 victory of the day. Some banter coming out from the players, but Yugoslavia, it's a doubleheader for them today in 28 minutes scheduled time. They've got their next series up against Germany, Team Deutschland, a very, very strong team as well. A Moment, Exist, Post, Coop, and Zinxis, rounding out that German lineup. A Moment and Coop, notably of HeflaTV, playing together right now. And a couple of their stand-ins, Fimit, +1 as well, are of that same team. So Germany certainly have some really good players and definitely are comfortable playing with one another, much like Yugoslavia is. So we'll see if they're able to get some momentum under their heels. Both teams can take second place. Yugoslavia, both teams being Germany and Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia are actually able to take first place if they 2-0 Germany here. So we'll be back with more Group B action in about 28 minutes, 27 minutes to be exact now, guys. Morage, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, your English coverage for this one. Yugoslavia taking a decisive 2-0 in this one. A little bit easier for them in a 25-minute victory in Game 1. 35-minute victory, though, in Game 2. Doesn't take much longer there. So really good play from them thus far. We'll see if they're able to transition this into another series win later on in the day. We'll be back, guys, in around 25 minutes, as said before. Morage, please. Hitbox, G2A, Dota 2 Lounge, Esport Gaming, ProDota EU National Cup. We'll be back, guys.